Pant down. Episode 11. I gave her the hug and she won't just let me go. She was so happy to get that at last. I took out my phone to call Catherine to meet me at home right away when she is done selling her watch. I promised Abina that I would come to her party in the evening. I left to my old house to take a little rest. Catherine came after selling. "You wanted to see me, baby, you miss me, huh?" she said with a smile. "Yeah, come over here." I held her hand and pulled her to myself on the bed. She planted one deep soft kiss on my lips. "Cathy, we are leaving this place, we won't be staying here any longer," I said. "How? Has your rent expired?" "I can get you some money to do the payment, you know," she said looking sober. I laughed. "Thanks, but I mean we are leaving to a better place," I said. She was still confused. I put on my clothes and took her to the car and we left to the estate. She couldn't believe what was happening around her. "I'm so happy, boo. But come to think of it, how did you afford this place?" she asked. "Oh, Vera. Yeah, she helped me get a job and they gave me this as an incentive." I lied. She was not too happy hearing Vera's name in this whole good news, but she kept calm. I told her I will move in completely by tomorrow. In the evening I went to the birthday party of Abina. She was really happy to see me. It was in their house and their parents were so glad I made it to the party. After the little party, the after party was scheduled to happen at a spot in their area. Abina insisted that I come along with her. I went there. Because she is a teenager, most of her friends around for the little fun they wanted to have were teenagers. They danced to every tune from the DJ. I was just in my seat with a bottle of root extra beer watching the young men and women have mad fun. "Bro Mike, don't you dance?" Abina came to me full of sweat asking. I laughed. "I'm a king, kings don't dance in public," I joked. She laughed. "You are funny, bro Mike. Thanks for making it through. I'm happy you came. I will miss you when I start school," she said. "Yeah, me too, kid," I replied. I said I'm no longer a kid. "Come on. How many times must I say this, bro Mike?" she said. I laughed. "I see you as my younger sister. Don't be offended," I said. "Do you know I have a crush on you?" she asked, looking at me in the eye. I laughed. Just when I was about to respond, I had a call from Catherine. I went out to pick. I told her I'm at the birthday party of Abina. For that she was never angry because she does not see Abina as threat, unlike Vera. I told her I would call her when I get home. After the party, I escorted Abina home. I saw from her she wanted us to continue with what she said earlier, but I was just avoiding that. The next day, I went in for a truck to pack all stuff at my place to the new apartment. I was really feeling comfortable. Vera asked me to come over to her house. We later went to Tokorodi to check on a project she was doing there. It is a mall, the first of its kind in the region. We returned to Accra same day. Right after returning, I went to Catherine's house to pick her to my new home. I told her this is where we will be. She spent the night with me. At dawn, because she was going to sell, I had to drop her off as early as possible. On my way back home while driving around 5 a.m., I saw something that was quite unpleasant. A guy was beating a lady that early morning. I slowed down with my speed. For once, I wanted to stop, but then I thought the whole thing could be a setup to rob persons who may come in as helpers. I kept watching until the guy gave the lady a heavy slap on the face that made her fall straight on the main road. To my shock, the few people around stood watching, and most are women as well. I stopped the car quickly. I rushed out to the lady on the ground. I felt her pulse to be sure she was alive first. She was breathing and crying in a voice that seems lost. I saw the guy heading to where he came out from. I held him in the shoulder. "Gentlemen, No matter the offense of a lady, hitting her the manner you just did was really wrong. She could have lost her life or get injured in the process, I said. Moral police, arrest me. And who are you, by the way? This is my house. Get the hell out before I deal with you same way I just did to her, he replied arrogantly. Really, are you talking to me? Do you know the person I am? I asked. Who cares about who you are or who you are not? Go and suck your mother, he said. I lost it at this point. I pulled him to me and gave him a slap that landed him on the ground too. He cried out loudly for help. I beat the hell out of him like he did to the lady. He was on the ground and couldn't stand up. I went to the lady who was having bruises on her body to carry her to my car. I was confused where to take her to. I don't know whether to take her to my house, a police station or a pharmacy for some drugs. I made her sit at the back. She was still crying. I drove her to my new home. I sent her inside and directed her to one of the guest rooms in the apartment and asked her to take a warm bath first. I rushed to the kitchen to prepare her some hot beverage. By the time I finished, she was also done bathing. I took the prepared breakfast to the room she was in. She was really beautiful. She could not look at me in the face. She was just in a white towel. Lady, how are you feeling now and what is your name? I asked. She tried speaking but tears started flowing again. I got closer to her to cuddle her. When she was done crying enough, I asked her to tell me why the guy was beating her. My name is Eunice and I am from Kumasi but have been living in Accra for years now, she said. Great. What did you do to the lunatic that made him beat you? I asked. He is my boyfriend, and she said with teary eyes. And what? I asked quickly. He is a game boy. He used me for most of his things. Things became hard but I stayed with him. At a point he needed some new format so badly from a rich Game Boy here in Accra. He set me up to get the format from the guy. He told the guy I am his sister. So I slept with the guy for him to help him. Something I never supported but he was crying and begging me always because he needed that badly. If he gets that format, he will get a huge control. I gave in at last and the guy slept with me. He helped him and within 4 weeks my guy had a big control. 2 billion old cedis, she said. Woo. You did this for a guy and he is now beating you like some goat. I said furiously. It is because I love him and I still do. She said with tears. So after the 2 billion old cedis, what next? I asked. He started going after girls. The least thing I do, he will remind me of how I sleep around with other guys. Something he made me do for him. When he bought his car, things changed completely. The Honda Accord you saw parked in front of the house was bought when I went to my mother's funeral in Kumasi. It was the 1-week celebration. He told me to go so he will attend the main funeral with me. I came back and realized another girl was in his room. I wanted to get into sleep because I was tired that dawn but he told me I will have to wait. I was forcing my way through and he started beating me, she narrated. Is that the first time? I asked. No, not at all. He beats me with the least provocation and comes to apologize later, she replied. Right after this reply, I heard the loud sound from the doorbell at the main gate. Watch out for the next episode.